The sun hung low over the bustling city, casting long shadows that danced across the pavement. In the heart of the urban sprawl, where concrete towers pierced the sky, a young architect named Clara found herself taking a rare break from her demanding schedule. The office felt like a maze of deadlines and meetings, and she often sought refuge at a small park near her workplace. It was a patch of green amid the grey, a place where she could catch her breath and gather her thoughts. One afternoon, as she settled onto a familiar bench with her sketchbook, the sound of children playing faded into the background. Her eyes wandered until they fell on a figure crouched in the sand. A man, perhaps in his late 20s, was sketching intricate buildings, his focus so intense that he seemed lost in his own world. Clara felt a spark of curiosity. There was something magical about the scene. As she leaned closer to observe, Clara couldn't help but admire the detail in the man's work. Each line he drew in the sand reflected not just buildings but dreams, aspirations, and a sense of belonging. Clara had spent years studying architecture, poring over blueprints and designs, yet there was a raw authenticity in Peter's art that struck her. It was as if he had an innate understanding of structures that transcended formal training. Intrigued, she decided to break the ice. "Hey there," she called gently, wanting to connect without startling him. Peter looked up, his dark eyes wide with surprise and curiosity. "You can see my drawings?" he asked, a mix of pride and disbelief in his voice. Clara smiled warmly. "Of course. They're amazing," she responded, genuinely impressed. "What's your name?" she continued, eager to learn more about this gifted man creating art in the sand. As days turned into weeks, Clara and Peter's friendship blossomed in the park. They met regularly, sharing stories and ideas, each encounter bringing them closer. Clara learned that Peter lived on the streets, navigating life without the comforts many took for granted. Despite his circumstances, he possessed a remarkable gift for drawing, an outlet that allowed him to express his hopes and dreams. Each meeting became a refuge for both of them. Clara found inspiration in Peter's creativity, while Peter found mentorship in Clara's knowledge of architecture. She introduced him to architectural concepts, showing him how to think about space, design, and functionality. In return, Peter opened Clara's eyes to the world of the city as he saw it. His perspective was unfiltered, revealing the beauty in forgotten corners and the stories of the people who inhabited them. Their bond grew stronger, forged by shared dreams and mutual respect. One afternoon, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Peter revealed a secret that made Clara's heart ache. "I want to build something one day. Something for people like me. A place where we can feel safe," he said, his voice steady yet filled with yearning. Clara listened intently, understanding the weight of his words. His dreams were not just about structures, they were about creating a home for those who felt invisible. Clara's heart swelled at his ambition, and she felt an undeniable urge to help him achieve it. "We can do that, you know. We can plan it together," she said, feeling a spark of hope igniting within her. But as she spoke, she also felt the weight of reality pressing down on her. Her job at the architecture firm was demanding, and she often found herself caught in a web of expectations and conventional designs that seemed to stifle her creativity. The pressure at Clara's firm mounted as her innovative ideas clashed with traditional practices. Her boss insisted that profitability was the primary goal, dismissing her suggestions as impractical. Torn between her career aspirations and her commitment to Peter, Clara grappled with the dilemma of how far she was willing to go for a dream that seemed increasingly distant. Every day felt like a balancing act as she navigated the demands of her job while yearning to make a real difference in Peter's life. One evening, after a particularly frustrating day, Clara found herself sitting on the park bench, feeling defeated. Peter joined her, sensing her turmoil. As she shared her fears and frustrations, Peter listened with understanding. "I don't know if I can fight for my vision and help you build yours. It feels impossible," she confessed, her voice tinged with doubt and vulnerability. Peter, with his determined expression, studied her carefully. "Sometimes, you have to make a choice. What's more important? Your job or what you believe in?" His words resonated deeply within Clara, echoing in her mind long after they parted ways. She realized that her role as an architect could be more than just a means of making a living. It could serve as a powerful platform for change. Inspired by Peter's unwavering determination, Clara decided to take a leap of faith. She would pitch a community project to her firm, a safe haven designed for homeless youth, incorporating Peter's ideas and perspectives. The thought filled her with both excitement and fear, but the spark of hope ignited by their friendship pushed her forward. She knew that this was not just about buildings, it was about making a tangible difference in their lives. When Clara presented her project idea to her firm, she faced a mixed bag of reactions. Some embraced her vision, seeing its potential to impact the community positively. Others dismissed it as unrealistic, warning her about the risks involved in diverting resources toward a project that wouldn't generate immediate profit. The discussions became heated, and Clara found herself at a crossroads, torn between her aspirations and the realities of her professional environment. Yet, with each meeting, she grew more resolute. Peter's enthusiasm for their dream fueled her determination to see it through. She was not just advocating for a project, she was standing up for a cause that could change lives. Meanwhile, Peter's living situation became increasingly precarious, as the city began to crack down on street life in the area. He shared his concerns with Clara, his eyes reflecting a mix of fear and defiance. One evening, as they drew together in the park, Peter confided in Clara about the challenges he faced. "They're trying to clear out the area near the construction site," he said, his voice shaking slightly. Clara's heart ached for him. She knew that without a safe place, Peter was vulnerable. "I'll do everything I can to help," she promised, feeling a sense of urgency. Determined to make their project a reality, Clara organized a community outreach meeting. She invited local residents, businesses, and stakeholders, hoping to rally support for their vision. Peter, despite his fears, spoke passionately about his dream. He conveyed the importance of creating a safe space for people like him. Clara stood beside him, sharing her own vision and emphasizing the need for community support. Their voices combined to create a compelling narrative, showcasing the power of collaboration and shared dreams. The outreach meeting sparked a wave of interest in the project. Local businesses and community leaders began to rally behind the initiative, recognizing the potential for positive change. Clara's firm, initially hesitant, started to reconsider, realizing that the project could benefit the community and enhance their reputation. Clara felt a renewed sense of purpose, driven by the support of those around her and the promise of what they could achieve together. As the first sketches turned into blueprints, Clara and Peter worked side by side, merging their visions into something beautiful. Peter's insights shaped the design, infusing it with a sense of authenticity and hope. They envisioned a space that would not only provide shelter but also inspire creativity and connection. Each day brought new challenges, but together they navigated them, their friendship growing stronger through collaboration. On the day of the groundbreaking, Clara stood beside Peter, who wore a proud smile that lit up his face. The event brought together community members, local leaders, and supporters who believed in their vision. Clara felt a swell of emotion as she looked at the faces around her, filled with hope and excitement. "We did it," Peter said, awe in his eyes as they prepared to break the ground together. "Yes, we did," Clara replied, feeling the weight of their journey. This moment was not just a milestone in their project, it symbolized their shared determination and the lives they aimed to change. As construction progressed, Clara and Peter found their roles intertwined more than ever. Clara became Peter's mentor, while he served as her muse, infusing each decision with the realities of life on the streets. Their partnership showcased how different backgrounds could come together to create something impactful. Months later, the safe haven finally opened its doors, revealing a vibrant community center filled with art, workshops, and spaces for young people to connect and thrive. Clara watched with joy as Peter guided others through the center, showing them the resources available and encouraging them to dream big. The walls, adorned with art and stories, became a testament to resilience and creativity, echoing the journey they had shared. Clara realized that the impact of their work extended beyond architecture. They were building a community and fostering a sense of belonging. In this space, Peter found purpose and a place to help others, while Clara discovered the fulfillment of aligning her career with her values. Together, they had created something beautiful, proving that friendship could build bridges where walls once stood and that dreams, no matter how distant, could take shape in the most unexpected ways.